Hey, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? You know what? I'm sitting on the porch right now, and but the sun on the back porch. The neighbors over here, if you look outside on the back balcony of the apartments, it's nothing but a hot sun on the back porch with chairs and people's apartments. Ain't nobody out on the back porch at all. Y'all see the sun behind me up here. I'm talking about bright in the sky, man. I ain't out on the porch. I say, wow, the chairs don't have no human beings in them. The chairs have sunlight sitting in them. So the sun sitting on the back porch at everybody else and everybody inside. I be having fun and rejoicing in the kingdom of the heaven and the weather, nature, things that was here before money, before houses, before cars, before clothes. It was just elements, rainwater, mist. You know what I mean? It's almost like it seemed like there was a world one time where everybody traveled in bubbles. Like we do travel in bubbles because your aura around you or the energy around you, usually in different shapes. They say it's a circle, but yeah, man, you traveling and you in one spot. That sun is sitting on back porches today. Ain't nobody on the back porch, but the sun is the guest in the house on the back porches of all apartments today. When I say nature right now transforming and transfiguring, she is transforming and transfiguring and transmuting and alchemizing everything. I mean, that's why when we connected to her, we alchemize with her too. I'm starting to learn it is true. I always used to hear certain things like the aliens. You know the aliens, they always show aliens with the big gigantic heads and the bubble eyes and stuff like that. And they always would say, that has to do with like one thing I heard that has to do with like a person that has a big head but a small body like the aliens, it means that they super intelligent. I'm talking about super intelligent. But they so intelligent to the point where, or I want to say intellectual to the point where their head is big, and as intelligent as they are, that's as big as their head is. But you don't see how big their heart is because it's all head and no heart. And that's why they always talk about the woman, the feminine, that woman, she connects all things and she brings all types of babies into this world through childbirth. And then, depends on how that child turns out, and you realize there's always a bigger purpose, always a bigger purpose. Get to the point where you can experience joy and happiness, real true joy, even when you're in pain. Real true joy, even when you got a toothache, you still feel some type of peace or some type of calmness and joy. It's like, I don't know. Y'all hear the birds in the background. Sometimes these days I get speechless like this. But my whole point in making this video is to touch on the fact that nature and this bright sun is transforming and changing things on a mass scale. And this is why things getting so hot right now. It's a lot of parasites on the earth. The earth going through her fever. You have a fever, the body heats up so the parasites can, you know, speed up the process of healing, and then, eventually they just fight off infection or whatever through the heat, through the fever. So we actually transforming before our own eyes and we don't even realize it. Take a look at your skin. When you're out in the sun, look at your skin. You'll see certain colors and sparkles in your own skin. Like you already made beautiful. Star body made up of stardust. Look like sand, skin, colorful snake skin, so to speak. Little sparkles, dark matter. Looks like the neuron pathway with that purplish green look when I'm looking at my skin right now. So it's like we in some beautiful times right now. It's some hard times because there's a lot of bloodshed. Men, women, and children, babies, infants. Nobody's exempt in a lot of these situations whose lives are getting taken or whatever. We see and we hear about it, and somehow we're not touched by it. We feel the pain because for those of us that have children, we don't feel like it's a problem when we hear somebody on the news, child dies, and you like, well, it's not my child. But when you put yourself in a parent's shoes, they probably never expected nothing like that in their life to happen, just like we don't. So if some things still gonna happen, it's best to have a good attitude about it, ahead of time. That way you'll always be in that preparatory mode when something serious happens. It won't be a panic. Things will just flow how they're supposed to. There'll be pain there, but there'll still be some form of joy and some form of sanity where you can keep on moving. That's where people be courageous. They say that you become courageous in times where you're supposed to be scared as hell, and you do be scared as hell, but you still keep on moving forward. That's what they call being courageous. So I try to leave out with a good message. I appreciate y'all listening to the video. I didn't feel like really playing with the camera like that. So if I'm in the sun, if this video comes out clear, if it doesn't, as long as the message was passed from one heart to another, because we all here vibrate in different timelines. That's why you hear a person say, man, I ain't even on that right there, man. I'm on this right here. I'm on this type of time, man. I'm on that type of time, man. I ain't even on that there. I'm on this time. I got something more important over here to do. You know, everybody on different timelines, but we still able to sit here on our different timelines in this world and still able to connect with others. Because when you focus and you in your zone, that's almost like you being in your private space, even though you're in public. You don't really care about what's around you. You just zone. Like football, basketball players when they get to just zoning out, shooting free throws or whatever, and they making all the points, all the shots, and you just like, man, they zoned out. They in the zone right now. When you can get like that and get in the zone with yourself and your creator, you have a lot of things in your life that'll transform. Little do you know, subconsciously, out of your control, you probably never even think things like that could happen just from spending large amounts of time and hours, and according to this world, because time is nothing. Large amounts of time and hour with you and your creator. So when you come out amongst people, you're able to help do what you do. Keep it short and sweet. Be a messenger. Be a instrument. However the Lord want to use it. Then go back in private. Back home. Everything moves in vibrations, ups and downs, and you even see animals do that. So nature where it's at. This sun here is transforming some things, breaking down a lot of things. We also going through the same process. There's too many parasites on Earth, and there's parasites also in our bodies, which is like microscopic organisms or demons that you can't see that we would refer to as bacteria or fungus, or just enzymes or whatever that come from our bodies to help break down food. I ain't no philosopher. I ain't on here trying to be all, you know, super righteous and super educated. I'm just on here expressing the divinity within me and the responsible divine being within me, the loyal divine being within me, the supreme divine being within me, you know what I mean? And that divine healing supreme being that's inside me. When you can spend time and be absorbed with yourself and the supreme being, creator, then you start to really live the true life, because a lot of things happen that was unimaginable. You can never imagine. And that's the type of life I like to live, because it's like, okay, I already know what I got to do. So I'm not excited to go because I already know what I got to do. If it's something you like and something you love, you know what I mean? You jump on it, and sometimes you can't tell other people because it's probably meant for you to jump on it, to put faith in the process, so resources show up where you really had nothing. God always wants us to taste and see that God is good. The Bible says, I think it's the book of Psalms, uh, maybe chapter 34, I believe, or chapter 36, 34 or 36 of Psalms. Yeah. So, y'all be at peace. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. Stick with your families. Let people know you love them. Hug them. Listen to those that be wanting to vent sometimes and need a listening ear, because you never know if it's your last time talking with them. View life as precious, something that you care about. Not that you have to save the whole world and go out there and help everybody because you need to show the whole world how big your heart is. You can care for others even through prayer, or far away, close, near, and still share the reality of co-creating peace and joy in all dimensions. So this earth will never fall again. As she's rising and the earth rises, and new heavens and new earth. Whole new situation of consciousness. It's unfolding right now, each and every moment inside of us. Inside of us. So what's inside of you is not social media. What's inside of you is internal, personal media, not social media. Internal, personal media. And you focus on that within you, at the same time observing this outside world when we move about. You see how we are always in both worlds at one time anyway? We're in the spiritual world and the physical world at the same time. But look how they morph around each other. Spiritual world is right here all day, unseen around us. And it's so great, you think it's small because the spiritual world and the breath of life comes through two little small holes in your nose, your nostrils. But the kingdom of spirit that blows the unseen breath into these nostrils is much greater than what we see around us in this physical world. So the unseen and the physical is in this world here together. That's amazing. So that means you probably could take your body, the same body, and never die like Christ and transfigure and glow to a different type of glow with different type of skin. You know what I mean? And ain't never have to die or leave up out this body. These some of the greater things I know Christ spoke of were even our vessels going through a change that we came here in. And we know what the internal changes feel like. We experience that with our bodies. If you got a stomach ache, your stomach is on the inside of you, under your rib cage. So your stomach ache would be, I want to say, internal pain. But let's say you hurt your knee. Your knee is on the outside of your body. I'm saying like it sits inside skin and bone and stuff, but your knee represents like the outside of your body. Your stomach represents the inside, internal, because things go into your stomach. So your stomach sits on the inside of your body, your knee sits on the outside of your body, below your waist. So your body has inner and outer dimensions on it, and spirit and physical, the invisible and physical, is still function together. Feel what I'm saying? So I love y'all. Y'all value yourselves. Be easy with yourselves. Make sure you stay in prayer and always have a quiet mind each and every moment, as much as you can. If nobody's not speaking to you or you don't have children you're dealing with, because in order to cherish the life that you live in this wild world, as crazy and wild as this world is, where we don't want to go outside our doors sometimes because we can't stand people in the world. You have to have a way to work on yourself where I don't care what happens with the weather or people or family or friends, and they tend to flip flop all and change up at random. Make sure nothing break your peace, and make sure you keep your own joy radiating as much as you can, so others can be inspired to work on their insides, physical and unseen. You only make the world a better place when you stay solid and become a better person yourself. And then people see how solid you are. They say, man, I don't care how many of us go against him, he still do right. And then they get that respect, and then they start doing right. And you didn't even have to force them. It's just your lifestyle and them seeing it repeatedly like, wow, that man, wow, what is he? He was able to do all, man, I'm inspired, man. You know what I mean? So a lot of times in life it's not really hard work. It's just being seen as an example in the eyes of some people that randomly see you turn around a corner every day, who happen to know you just from walking by as a bypasser, and they see the life you live and your body language, and then they know everything about you just through your body language, and then you start seeing them change their lives. I've had people do that before, come and approach me, and they know me from a past situation that I totally forgot, or they saw me somewhere. Like one lady, when my daughter was little, I used to always take my daughter to the park and push her in a stroller. So I had one lady, this was years later, my daughter's 16 now. So it's probably about 2013, so about 11 years ago. I was in a store and this lady was looking at me and she was like, hey, ain't you that young man you used to wear the straw hats and you used to push the baby in the stroller all over town? I was like, yeah, I used to do that. That sounded like me. You remember me? She was like, yeah, I remember you used to push your baby. So, I'm not even worried about trying to show off being a father, this and that. I ain't own a car like that when my children was born. And when I went places, the children was okay. They was out of the sun. They had nice strollers, plenty of water, change of clothes. I enjoy being a parent, being a father. So, you know, it's good to see a child grow, and a child that you fed and they listen to you, and they rely on you, and now they becoming independent and they just as strong as the parents. That's a beautiful thing. You done your job in this world and on this planet and on this earth. But we never finish doing our job when it comes to the creator, the unseen God, goddess. Because the unseen and the physical body we have still function together. So life real beautiful. I try not to focus on all the negative things, but you take the good with the bad. You know? But as long as you can focus on the positive and really just hold your mind frame on just positive things, or even just keeping a positive attitude about just being plain old positive. Because some things is hard for people to do. And for you, it might be a piece of cake, but that don't mean it's a piece of cake for somebody else. Life is good all the time, and you can't deny it.